What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you guys had a good week.
Hope you guys seen some baseball out there. I know we seen some baseball yesterday. Whether it was pretty or not, it was still pretty fun to watch.
Congratulations to Philly for actually doing that.
That was crazy. They scored 6 runs in the ninth inning. That's the most runs ever scored in the ninth inning when they're trailing.
Yeah, but
Didn't they win 6-2?
That's what I'm saying. They scored 6 runs in the ninth. That's the most runs ever scored in the ninth going into the ninth when they're trailing.
Yeah, and fucking St. Louis was 93-0. So they were due. And then they got
to be 93-0 when you're up double digits, not double digits, but when you're up more than 2 runs, for you to fucking to be 93-0, good God.
I didn't see that happen. I mean, it got to a point I'm like, yeah, Philly's gonna tie this game, but I didn't see them scoring 6 runs, not at all.
Well, it was funny because I had the Mariners game on. So I see on the bottom of the screen, the scores. And I see Philly 2-1. I'm like, yo, come on, Philly. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, then I see 2-2. Then it scans back again. 4-2. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Did someone just, like, crank something out? And then you see fucking...
Philly had something going there in the ninth. It was crazy.
Yeah, they did. They really did. I mean, it was I wouldn't say the most boring game
for a playoff game, but what an ending.
What an ending.
Yeah. No, that was a pretty good game. I watched most of it through and through. I mean, I stepped out for a minute to take a shower, and then I came back, and it was like the 6th or 7th inning, and there still wasn't a score, but it was a pretty good game.
You want to hear something funny?
So
I get a call from my
mother.
Are you watching the Phillies?
Versus
Cleveland?
Cleveland.
No, Philly versus
Philly.
St. Louis. I said, no, I'm in the car right now. She goes,
versus,
you gotta put the game on. I'm like, why?
St. Louis.
She's like, this guy sounds
I said, no, I'm in the car right now.
Yeah.
So you got to put it on. You got to put the game on. Like, this guy sounds just like Michael K.
Yeah, it was Michael K and A-Rod. So I texted her.
It was
back,
Michael fucking K.
It was Michael K. She's like, I knew it was. I thought it was.
Yeah, it was Michael K and A-Rod. So I texted her back. I'm like,
fucking voice.
You do know that was Michael K. She's like, I knew it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody different. I'm like, yo, you can't tell your own announcer's fucking
there it
voice
goes.
to somebody else.
See ya.
Right.
I thought that was fucking hilarious. All right. So we're going to kick off the playoffs for you guys. We're going to do this nice.
I mean, he has the same exact fucking home run call. There it goes.
Tampa Bay versus the Cleveland Indians.
See ya.
Seattle Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Seattle's up 1-0. Philly versus St.
I thought
Louis.
that was fucking hilarious.
Philly's up 1-0, as we just discussed.
All right.
The Padres
So
versus
we're
the
gonna
Mets.
for you guys.
The Padres are up 1-0.
Nice and clean. He actually did nice.
So
it's Tampa Bay
versus
the Cleveland
Tampa
Indians.
Bay versus Cleveland.
Cleveland's up 1-0.
What was that?
Seattle Mariners
versus
the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Seattle's up 1-0.
The Rays.
Philly versus St. Louis.
It was.
Philly's up 1-0, as we just discussed.
The
The Padres versus the Mets. Padres were up 1-0.
That was a good game. I really enjoyed that one.
So,
all right. So average-wise,
Tampa Bay
Rays versus Indians.
What was that game? 2-1 yesterday.
240 to the Indians.
I mean, the Rays. I think the inning.
The on-base percentage is 308 to 315 in favor of the Indians. So batting-wise, they have a slight edge. The starters ERA
all right, so average-wise,
for the Indians is 3.7.
Rays versus Indians.
For the Rays is
through the season, the Rays average 240 to the Indians.
The Rays are 3.27 ERA. And
the on-base percentage is 308 to 315.
So a slight edge goes to the Rays for starting pitching.
So batting-wise, they have a slight edge.
To the Cleveland Indians for their
the starters ERA for the Indians is 3.6.
So I mean,
for the
as
Rays,
close as they are numerically wise,
the relievers,
and average wise,
the Rays are 3.27 ERA, and the Indians are 3.6.
What it was supposed to be. A tilt in one direction.
A slight edge goes to the Rays for starting pitching, and then a slight edge goes to the Cleveland Indians for the bullpen.
Now
I agree.
Now I know.
So I mean,
weeks ago,
as close as they are numerically wise and average wise and statistic wise, the game
from
yesterday
their youth
was
as
what it
compared
was
to
supposed
everybody
to
else
be.
in the league. You were like,
A
I
tilt
kind of
in
really
one
don't buy
direction
it.
either way.
You know what I mean? You need vets, and it's just a long year period.
Now I know. Now I
But I
know. A
think
couple
them
weeks
I
ago,
being
I
still
young,
asked
stand
you. I
by it.
hated or
I
loved
think
it.
them
Like,
being young is
will the
helping them right
Indians
now.
favor
Yeah, maybe right
from their
now, but
youth
when you go
as
into
compared to
the
everybody
division
else in the league?
series
And
or
be
the
like, I
championship
kind of
series
really don't
against
buy it.
Houston or New York, or
Vets, and it's
it's
just a long year period.
it's done. They're done. They're not going to make it to the
But
championship
I think
series.
them being young,
If by some miracle
I
they
think
do,
them
I
being
mean,
young is
I
helping
think
them
That'd
right
be
now.
crazy.
I think their youth is really gonna help them then.
Mm. I don't know. I think I think it'll definitely hinder them. I'm still going to stick by that.
I mean, right now in the top of the seventh is 0-0.
If by some
Yeah, I
miracle
know the
they do, I
Indians had
mean,
bases
I
loaded with
think
like one out and they
I
couldn't
think I
score.
think their
Yeah,
youth is really
like
gonna help them then.
if anything's gonna come back to bite them in the ass, it's gonna be them right there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Definitely.
so now with the next game is Seattle versus
I mean,
Toronto,
right
right?
now in the
I
top
believe.
seven.
Yeah, see, that's at 4 o'clock. Seattle got off to a nice start yesterday. They scored 3 in the
Yeah,
first,
like
and then honestly, that
if
was
anything's
it.
gonna come back to bite them in
Luis
the ass, it's
Castillo
gonna be
shut them
that
down the
right there.
rest of the way,
He pitched. He
and
Um,
pitched
so now the
fantastic.
that's
next game is
exactly why
Seattle
they
versus
made the
Toronto,
deal for
right?
him
I believe.
for that, and he performed, and
He looked like yesterday he was untouchable.
he was.
He literally looked untouchable. He was just pitching
He
masterfully.
pitched. He pitched
And
fantastic.
like to the point you said, that's why they went and got him. That's why they didn't care to give up two of their prospects to get
He
him.
looked like yesterday he was
Yeah, that's
untouchable.
why that was a big deal.
He literally looked untouchable. He was just
Yeah, but
pitching
they're
masterfully.
they're reaping the
And
benefits
like
now.
like to the
Like, you
point you
know,
said, that's why
before
they
the
went and
playoffs,
got
it
him.
was
That's
all
why they didn't
speculation.
care to
How's
give
he gonna
up two of
pitch?
their
How's he gonna
prospects to
look?
get him.
You know, X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? But yesterday he,
Yeah, but they're like
for a
they're
lack of a better
reaping
word,
the
the guy put his
benefits
dick on the
now.
field and
Like
was like, "Can anybody touch it?"
before the playoffs, it was all
And nobody
speculation.
was
How's he
like,
gonna
"Hey,
pitch? How's he gonna
you gonna
look?
touch it?"
You know, X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? But
No,
yesterday
that was a
he,
good game. I really
for a
liked it,
lack of a
and
better
I
word, the
didn't
guy put his
watch it,
dick on
but
the field and
I
was
was
like, "Can anybody touch it?"
following it on my phone.
Everybody was like,
When they went up 3-0 early in the first, and Cal Raleigh hit that 2-run shot.
Talk about a guy just being fucking clutch or just
well,
taking the moment by the balls.
I mean, when this kid came up, he was one of the best catching prospects in all of baseball, and honestly,
talk about
he's
a
certainly
guy
performing like
just
it.
being fucking
He
clutch or
certainly
just
is, and I'll tell you
taking the
what, I have
moment
his
by the
rookie card.
balls.
Oh, now that's a cha-ching.
Let me see if I can find it real quick while we're going, because I got my cards right next to me.
I mean, he lacks consistency, but I'll take a lack of
Oh, now
consistency
that's
for
a
a big moment like that. You clinch
Let me
us.
see that.
Yeah, I can see it. That shit looks nice.
Right?
It
I
does.
mean, he lacks consistency, but I'll
I
take the
mean,
But
lack
I'll
of
take the lack of
consistency for a big
consistency
moment like
for a
that.
big
You
moment like
clinch
that.
us, yeah, I can see it. That shit looks nice.
I mean, he's been pretty
It does.
consistent throughout the whole year. I think he hit like 25 home runs or something like
I mean,
that.
I'll take the lack of
I mean, average
consistency
wise, I
for a
mean, his
big
average
moment like
wasn't
that.
really up there. I think his average was around like 240, 250.
Yeah.
But still, from a catcher, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
100% I'll take it.
25 to 30 home runs, almost 100 RBIs driven in. I mean, he hit the walk-off shot to get him into the
Yeah.
playoffs.
And now he hits the walk-off shot. And, like, not the walk-off shot, but just
Yeah,
to
I'll
start
take
the
it.
game.
100%. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
So, I think he's definitely gonna be a real big piece for that team.
And now he hits the walk-off shot, and like not the walk-off shot, but just to start the game.
I mean, Seattle just looked good. I mean, they had that first inning, but they were attacking. They were attacking the Rays. Not the Rays. They were attacking Toronto.
I mean, Seattle just looked good.
I mean,
I mean,
and their
they
pitching,
had that first inning, but
Vladimir
they were
Guerrero Jr. looked
attacking.
human.
They were attacking.
Yeah. They don't have an answer.
Yeah, they were attacking Toronto.
They really don't.
I mean, and their pitching made
now today
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. look human.
The pitching matchup is Kevin Gossam and Robbie Ray. Honestly, Seattle's gonna take this home, and they're gonna hold on. I have it in my notes. Seattle's gonna win this, and then Seattle's gonna move on and play
the Yankees.
Yeah, I didn't write down the second one. I was gonna grab my notebook. Yeah, they're gonna play New York, and that's gonna be fun.
I mean, like we said before,
that's gonna be real fun.
You know, we think the Indians or the Rays, whichever one you guys think is gonna go on, Neither one of them is going to be huge.
I mean, like we said before,
let's just
we think the
I mean,
Indians or the Rays,
any
whichever
team
one
has
you
a
guys
chance to really
think is going to
beat
go
Houston,
on,
it's either going to be New York,
neither one of them is going to be
or
Houston.
honestly, out of all the wild
Let's
card
just
teams, I
keep
think
it real.
Seattle has the best opportunity.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I understand how good Toronto's offense can be when they turn it on, but they have to turn it on. I'm talking about just
a
really, really good, like Seattle's. They're legit. They're gonna be here for a while. They're gonna be contending for a while.
Yeah. Now, for the sake of stats, you want to hear this shit? Seattle's average through the season was 228.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays.
Now, for the sake of stats, you want to hear this shit?
To your point, like, look how good the Blue
Seattle's
Jays
average through the season is
Yeah.
228.
Their on base percentage
Jays
is
is
328.
So as to your point, like, look how good the Blue Jays can be offensively.
They have the worst starting
Their on base percentage is 328
for ERA
to the Mariners
of 4,
313.
right? And then their relievers,
they have the worst starting
ERA
pitching in the playoffs. For an ERA of 4.
Starting ERA is 3.6.
Right, and then their relievers, ERA is 3.78. The Mariners starting ERA is 3.68.
The Mariners have a
their
better
relievers ERA is 3.38.
That's what.
So obviously,
that's what showed out.
The Mariners have a better pitching staff,
and then they're just
think
hitting their averages.
That's
and
what
doing what they're supposed
yesterday.
To do.
That's what showed out. Luis Castillo was shutting them out, and then they're just hitting their averages and doing what they're supposed to do. That's
Toronto,
why
they just look like, I mean, granted, Luis Castillo, great pitcher, but Toronto just looked lifeless. I mean, Castillo was throwing a lot of strikes, so, Toronto was swinging at a lot of pitches. Because he was a lot, I don't know.
Well, I think what favored Luis Castillo is 3-0 out of the first.
Not even that.
Well, I think what favored Luis Castillo
is
3-0 out of the first.
Zone, so Toronto was being aggressive, which is good, but they just...
Yeah, but I think that start is what ultimately...
They just couldn't hit it.
Ultimately fucked them, because now it's like...
Yeah, but I think that start is what ultimately...
He's got a 3-0 lead, so now he
ultimately fucked him, because now it's like, you have Steele coming out of the first, he's got a 3-0 lead, so now he could kind of work.
Just like that Met game last night.
I mean, he could...
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
I don't even want to.
We'll get to that.
I know you don't. We gotta cover it though.
I know you don't. We gotta cover it though.
It was a great game up until.
All right, so then we touched on the Cardinals versus Phillies.
It was
a great game up until that ninth inning for the Cardinals.
He really hit. He pitched his fucking ass off.
He did everything.
Yeah, he did. He really hit. He pitched his fucking ass off.
Going into the 7th inning, I mean,
he did.
He honestly,
he did.
I mean, he's pitched well all season, but right there, that game yesterday, he earned his contract.
Oh, that was the crown jewel. That was the cherry on top of the cake for Philly.
Oh, that was the crown jewel. That was the cherry on top of the cake for Philly. Right
realistically, you're looking Wheeler just all right. Don't give him more than 2 runs.
Realistically, you're looking Wheeler just all right. Don't give him more than 2 runs. Keep it clean.
So, yeah,
just get through it.
That Cardinal lineup.
Yeah. Pujols, Arenado, Goldschmidt,
Pujols, Arenado, Goldschmidt.
That's no
other players. I mean, that's no cakewalk to walk through that.
No,
and get through it clean for 8 innings.
However many innings he pitched.
7, however many innings he pitched.
Yeah, 6 2/3, and you don't let up a run.
6 2/3, and you don't let up a run. Like maybe what, 2 runs? That's about it.
From a Philly standpoint, you got to wipe.
From Philly standpoint, you got to wipe. Wipe your brow and go. Thank you, fucking Lord.
It's Aaron Nola versus Miles Michaelis. I mean, Michaelis has been good for St. Louis. He really has. But I give the edge to Nola. He's definitely the better pitcher.
Yeah, I definitely would give the edge to Nola.
I definitely would give the edge to Nola, and the circumstances would still lead more to him pitching well than anything.
All right, so now for the stats for that series.
The
average for Philly this year is
2.5. Their on base percentage.
Their starters ERA was 3.79.
Their starters ERA was
3.79. Philly is
4.26. Philly is 4.26.
So that's one of the things, guys.
That's one of the things, guys, that stood out yesterday. Wheeler going 6 and
giving up no runs.
Giving up no runs, and the bullpen literally just got 3 innings, did their job, stayed clean relatively,
and outside that first pitch cutter to, I forgot what that dude's name was. Some Spanish dude that came up to pinch it for the
Molina,
Cardinals.
Molina, what do you think his last name was?
No,
Morales.
Morales.
I don't remember something Lopez or Yanel or I don't remember. But
I think I remember that
he
name.
literally came up and he took a first pitch cutter and just smacked it into the left field stands.
Yeah.
And uh, I watched that and I'm like, this game's definitely over. I mean, that's all it's gonna take is those 2 runs right there. But the fighting Phils had other words to say about that in the ninth, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fighting Phils showed you why they were fighting Phils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Why they're gonna paint the playoffs red? So now the Cardinals average 252. Their on base 326. Starting pitching 3.84. Their relievers ERA is 3.66. So the edge definitely goes to the Cardinals for their relievers, but everything else is pretty much fucking even Stevens between them both.
Right.
I mean, and that's why you had an ending like that yesterday. Yeah, ninth inning, Philly just decides to explode.
Yeah.
And at the right fucking time at that too, right?
Absolutely.
I think Philly's gonna walk away with it.
I think Philly's gonna walk away with it.
I think if there's any series that's gonna go to tomorrow and go 3 games, it's either gonna be that series, Philly and St. Louis, or it's gonna be Cleveland and Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those 2 series are gonna go 3. But honestly, I really believe every series is gonna end today. Seattle's gonna win, Cleveland's gonna win, Philly's gonna win, and San Diego's gonna win, and that's it.
All right,
Done.
So I guess we're gonna jump into this whole mess of a situation between the Padres and the Mets. Now, before we cover what happened last night, I'm gonna give the stats. Average Padres 241 to the Mets 258. On base percentage 318 to the Mets 331. Starting pitching ERA for the Padres 3.81 to the Mets 3.63. The relievers 3.77 to the Mets is 3.63. So the relievers and the starters for the Mets, their ERA is both 3.63.
Yeah.
So at least they've been consistent. Now, before the game started last night, I got a chance to watch Scherzer before he left the bullpen to go and start the game, and he looked off. You know, we know Scherzer wears, his emotions on his sleeve, and he's not going to hide them from anybody. In that bullpen session, it looked like, because you couldn't see where the pitch was located, but you seen him throwing the ball. You could see that he's frustrated because he's not pinpointing his location. Right? And it was on his fastball. And respectively, his inside or cutting fastball, it was not cutting last night.
I mean, yeah, he threw that one
to Josh Bell that was hanging.
No, he threw that one to
Grisham
to Soto and struck him out. But
I mean, but Soto's nothing. I'm not taking away anything from Soto. Soto hasn't been playing the greatest.
No, but when you really compare it, Soto's the best player on that team. Yes. I get it. Machado's had a great year, but in reality, Soto's the better player than Machado.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So
I mean, up until the third inning, Max. Here's my beef with the Mets, and we talked about it, and you said, look, bunting and stealing doesn't really help you in the long run. You're still gonna need some hits to bring in runs. That first inning, they have runners on the corners, 1 out.
Yeah, I know, and they couldn't score.
And you can't score. Then the next inning, you have Marte fucking steal all the way to third. You can't bring him in. I mean, if there was any time for you to fucking bunt, it was those 2 fucking innings. Just to bring 2 runs in.
Yeah, but like I said, like in the first inning, you don't bunt. Because they had first and third, 1 out, and then Alonso struck out, and then Vogelback grounded out. So you don't bunt with fucking Alonso.
No, I respectfully, I understand that. But just the situation screamed first and third, 1 out. You can't bunt to get one in. Because there's no way they're getting a double play on a bunt.
Like I said, you don't do that in the first, not with Alonso up.
I mean, respectfully, Alonso has looked like shit for the past month and a half. That's why, for me, and this is just me, people, not Danny or people that are very anal about baseball. This is why I don't give a fuck how much I pay you. I don't give a fuck how many you can rake out of the yard. You haven't been doing it for a month, so we're doing it my fucking way. You're laying down a motherfucking bunt.
Not at all. Because he's got the potential with one swing to give him the lead right there.
That first swing of the at-bat.
You don't have him bunt and take the bat out of arguably the best hitter in your lineup. You don't do that.
The funniest thing is the first pitch of that at-bat, he cranked one, and it was foul. And it was a fucking deep shot.
Yeah, I was listening on the radio.
Yeah, honestly, I was waiting for it because I was watching it on Stream East while I was driving around. And I'm like, yo, because you were like, yo, this is a fucking joke. Like, look at these fucking jokers. And I'm like, come on, Pete. Just crank one out so I could text Danny back and be like, how about that, motherfucker?
I told you, like I've been telling you for weeks, they're done. This team has been playing like shit. DeGrom has been pitching like shit for the last couple starts.
I mean, Scherzer and DeGrom since June 1st are 10-10. That's not good.
And then, honestly, like when they went down 2-0 last night, I basically shut it off. That's it. I shut it off, and I was like, I'm not listening to this because they're done. They're gonna lose. And then when like I said, when they went down 2-0, I thought to myself, I was like, Scherzer's gonna give up a lot more runs. They're gonna lose like 11-0. They ended up losing 7-1. That's pretty damn close.
Pretty much.
And I don't care who's pitching today. They're done. They're gonna lose this game. It might be closer than yesterday, but they're done. They're getting swept.
Put it this way.
I guess we're gonna jump into this.
I think DeGrom's gonna pitch a masterpiece.
This whole mess of
no, he's not.
situation between the Padres and the Mets. Now, before we cover what happened last,
rocked just like Scherzer did.
He's gonna pitch a masterpiece. He's gonna go to the 7th. The
average
gonna come in. The bullpen's
Padres
gonna fuck them.
41 to the Mets 2.
What you've been saying all year. That bullpen
base percentage
link, and now it's
318 to the Mets 330.
Or that, yeah.
DeGrom's gonna do his
Starting
job.
pitching
He'll keep
ERA
them within, 1 or 2 runs.
I think
He'll
DeGrom's gonna pitch a masterpiece.
2/3 of the 7th.
Wait,
and then that's when
finish.
And the funniest thing is, watch, the Mets will be leading 2-1.
He's gonna pitch a masterpiece. He's gonna go to the 7th. The bullpen's gonna come in. The bullpen's
gonna rock it.
I could
what you've been saying all year. That bullpen has been the weak link, and now it's going to show.
I'm a Met fan from afar. I'm a Rockies.
DeGrom's going to do his job. He'll keep them within, 1 or 2 runs. He'll leave in about the 6th, 3rd of the 7th, and then that's when it all comes apart. And the funny thing is, watch, the Mets will be leading 2-1, 3-2, and that bullpen's going to come in, and then fucking the Padres are going to rock
for their lineup to fully click. Last night, the guys.
You're a realistic Met fan. I'm a Met fan from afar. I'm a Rockies fan. The Mets. Really nothing to cheer about. So.
You're 10-10. Hopefully,
from a Rockies
standpoint, can give you
I would love to see go 3, just because the way
and not give up
the storylines behind it.
That offense can wake the fuck up.
The Padres have 3 juggernaut pitchers who've been pitching their ass off. They're waiting for them to fully click.
Before we move on, I want
last night the guys who have been off track,
Starling Marte,
got back on track.
Is a gangster.
The Mets.
And the reason why I say he's a gangster, you can see
hopefully DeGrom can give you something for 7th innings and not give up more than 3, and that offense can wake the fuck up.
Hasn't played in a month. He was off. He was money last night, and this is why.
Before we move on, I want to say
you got a guy who's
Starling Marte is a gangster.
Can barely a week ago.
The reason why I say he's a gangster, you can see all last night, even with the splint on his finger, it hurt.
Steals 2 bases.
That guy was offense by himself last night.
And you can't capitalize.
Hasn't played in a month. He was off. He was money last night, and this is why I'm pissed off at the Mets. You got a guy who literally broke his fucking middle finger. Can barely a week ago can barely do soft toss. Comes out, gets a couple hits for you.
You can't help.
Steals 2 bases. Makes some fantastic catches in the outfield, and you can't capitalize on this gentleman. What he's doing.
You think I'm being a negative Nancy?
That's what pissed me off.
They are done.
Because you have a guy who's like, I don't give a fuck about my body. I'm going to go. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to contribute like a motherfucker. And you can't help me.
They got to play to where they're supposed to play at. And for the last, month and a half, maybe 2 months?
2 months.
They've played like dog shit. Pitching, hitting.
Everything.
Everything. Like, If we were to hide
It
their
doesn't matter.
record and you were to ask
They
somebody,
got
this year,
to
what do you
play.
think
They got to play to
the
where they're
Mets
supposed
record
to
would have
play
been?
at. And for the
All right.
last
The way
month
the
and a
Mets are
half,
playing,
maybe 2
what
months,
do you think their record
they've
looks like?
played like absolute
I
dog
was
shit.
watching the Cardinal game yesterday.
Pitching,
and
hitting,
ESPN
they,
brought up a little
everything.
thing on the side where
Like if we were to hide their record and you were to ask somebody this year, what do you think the Mets record would be?
And I think
like,
one other
high.
team they showed
The way the Mets are playing, what do you think
the
their
record for
looks
those
like?
teams since June 1st.
Oh yeah.
I think the Mets were second or third on that list. They were like 64 and 40 something or something like that.
When they have a multiple run lead.
So granted, they were 60 something and 40 something. So they played well.
Yes.
But I mean,
when
you look at how they played the final 2 months, you figure June, July, they played.
When they have a multiple run lead,
above 500.
August and September they played like shit.
Oh yeah, dog shit.
Especially in September, they were below 500 against sub 500 teams.
I mean, Pete Alonso said it the other day in the press conference. Oh, did getting swept by Atlanta really
above 500?
hurt? How did it? And Pete goes, no, we got swept by the fucking
shit.
Cubs. There was chances for us to win this division. I think their record when
I mean, Pete Alonso said it the other day in the press conference.
A couple runs on them and they're down by a couple runs. Their record's like
getting swept by Atlanta really hurt? How did
but
it?
If you flip
Pete
it,
goes,
when they
no,
had
we got swept by the fucking Cubs.
like
there was chances for us
and
to
whatnot. What you said.
Yeah, when they have a lead going into the year,
I think their record when they're
I mean, that's a great stat.
Scores like more than a couple runs on them and they're down by a couple runs. Their record's like 14 and 50 something.
But
if you flip it, when they have like a 2-run lead, their record is like 63 and whatnot. What you said.
And that shows you the true. Core of that team.
I mean, that's a great stat, but like the key to that stat is essentially, look, if they can score fucking more than 3 runs, they look good. If they can't,
I want to see what your record's like when a team scores 2 runs on you. And you haven't scored a run in 7 innings.
I mean, going forward, their metrics on them these last 2 months, I'm going to use those metrics on everybody else for years to come.
When you score,
I don't care. You can have the shiniest fucking stat in the world.
But when you don't score runs, your record's 15 and 40 something.
Right, like I said, no matter who's pitching, whether it's the Grimer,
I think that's a true measurement.
If you
can't
any
score
any runs,
all right, your record's 60 something in this. But when you don't score runs, your record's 50 and 40 something.
Yeah.
But they need help as well.
Max needed a lot more than help last night.
Yeah.
You really
it's awesome. You got some of the greatest pitchers in the game. But they need help as well.
Damn, I hate that you asked that question.
I certainly don't think so.
I certainly don't think so either. I mean,
he was on the injured list twice this year.
Yeah, and I get it, his age and the body.
Damn,
I understand it.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And I told you.
I certainly don't think so either.
I was against that deal.
The 2 injuries
there
this year.
There were times throughout the year where he made me feel a little bit different.
And I get it, his age, the body. I understand it.
But overall, what did I tell you?
It's a lot of money.
Before the year, I did not like the deal. Money-wise, age-wise. 2 stints on the DL. In the last series against Atlanta, him and Jake both got rocked. And now look, game 1 coming out in the wild card series, playing like that. Come on now.
All right. So,
bye, Jake.
Well,
I hope you go somewhere else, you fuck.
I do too.
At this point, I don't even care. I really don't.
All right.
Somewhere else.
So, at this point, I hope he walks. Opens the door for Shohei Ohtani.
I do too.
I mean, he did sign that $30 million deal for next year.
Yeah,
well, at this point, I hope he walks because that opens the door for Shohei.
Obviously, they could still trade him. The team is still in
the process of trying to find us a buyer.
Exactly. So yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, which was a record for an arbitration.
I think. Yeah, look, Canna's been nice. you know,
in the process of trying to
Escobar,
find a buyer.
you know, he had a really hot. Look, he's been nice. Look. I've seen worse. So, Escobar's been nice.
He's been rocky.
In September, the last month and a half, Escobar's been on fire.
Oh yeah, the last month.
But I'm looking at some of the players.
He's been rocky.
I'm like, honestly, you know what?
Oh yeah, the last month, Escobar's been fucking fueguito.
Wow. That would be a doozy.
What?
But because Steve Cohen's got so much money to spend, and he don't give a shit about all he wants to do is win, that would be one hell of a deal. I mean, I don't know who would be going back in the direction of the Angels, but there are some players on this Mets team that I don't think fit. Yes, they're nice, but I think they definitely need to be replaced.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Brandon Nimmo, I don't see him as part of the future. So what I'd like to see happen, I would like to see the Mets make a deal and trade with the Angels and take Trout and take Ohtani.
Good
God.
Now you put Trout and Ohtani in that lineup with Lindor,
with Lindor, Alonso, and Starling.
I mean, for the sake of it on paper,
that's Jeff McNeil.
On paper, that's the scariest lineup in the National League.
I'm sorry,
Barnard. That's the scariest lineup. You throw Trout and Ohtani on that team. Not only are you getting a fucking ace, but you're getting a guy who could throw 8 innings scoreless and drive in 3 runs. Or for the sake of it this year, let me pitch 7 2/3, give up 1 run, and drive in 6 runs my goddamn self, and I still lose.
Right.
What? Because last night it wouldn't have been Scherzer. Because if I'm a manager, I'm Buck. Yeah, I know you're the zone.
Ohtani definitely goes game 1.
Oh, you're going game 1, dude. I'm sorry. Scherzer, I'm saving you for the cleanup. I'm saving you for game 2. You know what I mean?
I don't, like I said, I don't know who they give up in that deal. I mean, honestly, Alvarez is probably going to have to be one of the ones to go.
I'm sorry. If it means I'm getting Trout and Ohtani, I'll tip my cap. Thank you, sir, for your service. Now get the fuck out of my house.
I mean, they did just draft that kid, Kevin Parada, in this past year's draft. So they have another catcher that's going to be coming up in a few years.
In the coming years.
I get it. You're going to be struggling at catcher. You get somebody else. You figure it out. You get someone, or you keep on, or you hold on to Nito, and you still have McCann for another year. Yeah. And they're not going to hit, but they're going to play defense.
Or you can trade fucking one of them and get Wilson Contreras from the Chicago Cubs.
No, because I think if that deal was made for Trout and Ohtani, I think that's really that's where most of their prospects are gonna go, and I really don't think they're gonna have anything left to really make a deal, because then they're really gonna have to really dig deep into their prospects to definitely make another deal happen for something else somewhere else. Yeah. And they could, but I just don't see that happening. But I do see them definitely making at least one big trade this offseason. And I think that one big trade has to be for Ohtani. And if it's not for Ohtani, then regardless of what they do this offseason, it's a bust. Because you have to bring you need more bats.
You need more bats?
Escobar's not going to do it.
No, and neither is Luis Guillermo.
Defensively, he's awesome.
Yes. Offensively, he's a hit or a miss. It's a flip of a coin.
Yeah, like I said, as much as I've enjoyed Nimmo, I don't see him as the answer. I don't see him as part of the future.
The one thing that hurts me about when you say Nimmo is I just love his effort.
Yeah, no, me too. I love the way he hustles.
He's the only one I see him day in and day out. He can hit a little dribbler to third. That motherfucker is screaming out of the box, ripping down the line.
He'll get walked and he's racing to first base. I get it, and I love that, but
I mean, if you're a manager, that's the ideal type of player you want.
Exactly.
I'm not the best, but
when you
when you ask me for effort, you're gonna get fucking effort.
I'm gonna hustle 162 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
his bat doesn't reflect it.
I mean,
defensively, he's really good defensively. I mean, he pretty much catch of the year.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
what breaks my heart,
and
and I know it's gonna happen too. Like you're saying, he's not gonna be there for much longer.
No.
It really fucks with me, man, because it's like. I guess that's the coach in me, where it's like, nah, man, I need that guy. Like, but that guy's not good. But that guy does X, Y, and Z way better than he does it.
You know what
I mean? I don't get the boom.
Yeah.
But I got the effort. The effort is what it's just. The example would be Patrick Beverley to the Lakers. Not the best player. You know what I mean? Known for defense, but just his effort and his morale. It's just such a positive that it's like, fuck, do I really move on from this?
Right.
All right,
so let's run through it.
We have
the Rays. Bottom of the eighth.
Cleveland's up right now, no outs, 2-2 count.
Still no score.
No score. I think the Indians take it today. I think the Mariners take it as well. That Philly Cardinals, that's still a toss.
Yeah,
I mean, because if St. Louis shows up today and they show up with a hard arm and they're ready to hit, it's going to be a long game for Philly.
Yeah.
The
Padres and the Mets, I mean, we covered it. I think the Padres are going to walk away with it. I mean, because this is what I didn't understand. They're like, oh, we have Scherzer, but if we lose, we're going to go with DeGrom tomorrow. All right, so then game 3, you're leaving it to Bassett. Granted, Bassett's pitched wonderfully this season. You know what I mean? Very consistent. What, 12, 13 wins?
15, I think.
15 wins. He can do it, but if I told you it's going to be game 3, would you really want Bassett out there to close out that series?
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Honestly, he had his hiccup. He's had his little hiccups here and there, but I mean, he's been way more consistent than both pitches this year.
All right,
so
I'll take the consistency.
Hear me out. All right, just hear me out. I wouldn't have had Scherzer pitch game 1. Or DeGrom pitch game 1.
Yeah, we say that now after what we've seen last night.
Yes, but no,
that's not how you felt a week ago going into this matchup.
Yes, I either wanted Scherzer, the tone setter. I want Scherzer. But looking at it just after that last week or two of how they played, I'm going to lean with Mr. Consistency for game 1. I'm going to have Bassett pitch game 1. Because if you can get through game 1 and you can win one, it kind of puts the fear into that team.
Not fear, it's an urgency.
An urgency, but all right, so they win game 1, right? Hypothetically, with Chris Bassett. If you're the opponent, all right, we got to win 2 games, we lost the first one. All right, who's pitching the next 2 games? Scherzer and DeGrom. Fuck me. I mean, that's the literal first thought in your mind. Granted, Scherzer didn't pitch to his level that he's supposed to last night. But for hypotheticals, if Bassett had pitched and they won game 1, and you're asking the Padres, well, who are you facing the next 2 games? Oh, Scherzer and DeGrom. It's literally you just slide a loaded gun across the fucking table. Well, you can put that to your fucking chin and see how many times it clicks.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I would have rather had Bassett pitch game 1. Lean on, and not the hot hand, but lean on the consistent hand. And especially, I mean, the stakes were very high last night for Scherzer. He was off, right? We can admit it. I think him going into game 2, I think that's going to raise his level of play. We're up 1-0. Max, just do your thing. And then even if he pitched the way he did last night, he pitched like that in game 2. Oh, I got DeGrom tomorrow.
Yeah, honestly, I get it's the playoffs, and I get it's a different monster. But I honestly don't have any faith. I don't have any faith in DeGrom right now. I really don't.
I mean,
for
for
the
the
since
since
June
June
1st or
first,
whatever
whatever
it
it
is,
is,
they're
they're
10
10
and
and
10.
10.
I mean,
I mean,
statistically,
statistically, it's not looking like you should have
faith in
faith
him.
in him.
I mean,
I mean,
but
but
if
if I'm
Steve
Steve
Cohen
Cohen
or
or
I'm
I'm management,
and I
and
know
I know
it's
it's
fucked up
fucked
to
up
say
to say
this,
this,
but
but
hey
hey,
DeGrom,
DeGrom,
show me how
show me
you
how
gonna
you
earn
gonna
that
earn
money.
that money.
Show me you
Show me
worth
you
the
worth
money.
the money.
Show me.
Show me.
Yeah.
You
You
think
think you the best?
Show me.
Show me.
I
And
agree.
and we've had these conversations. What's the difference between the old time pitchers and the new school pitchers?
where
There's more emotion. There's more into it for them. Whereas
Yeah.
these
these new pitchers, it's like, yeah, it's another Thursday. I'm just gonna pitch.
You know what I
You know what I mean? And that's one thing my issue with DeGrom is, yeah, you're great,
but
but I don't see you.
I don't
I don't
see you
see you
putting in that effort or showing me that you want to be the best.
He came out to a rip roaring start, and he was so hot. His first couple appearances,
Dude,
That first start, he was
perfect through
through
6.
6.
that wasn't the first. No, that was his second or third
Second one.
start.
I
I mean, he looked fucking
But now
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's come back down to earth, and it's supposed to be the reverse. Like
the
the last whatever 5-6 starts you had was shit.
No,
No, that was supposed to be the first 6 starts,
dog. And then
and then the last 6,
you
you were supposed to be on fire.
You know
You know what I mean? You got your legs underneath you. There's no more pitch count.
You
You
you're
you're doing this.
Where is it?
Yeah. You know, for the other Met fans out there that either are listening and watching or just in general, for the ones that are like, yeah, we got Jake going tonight though. Yeah, he's gonna tie up the series. Yeah, yeah. I pity the fool. They're gonna pull the rug right out from underneath you. And you're gonna be sitting there on the floor on your ass, scratching your head like, what the fuck happened, man?
I got it for you right now, bro.
You're gonna pity the fool.
We got DeGrom tonight.
100%.
Hey, Scherzer, I got one for you.
You're not that guy, bud.
It won't
It won't play.
Well, you're not that guy. 130 million for 3 years. You're not that guy.
Yeah.
Next.
I love that fucking show. I used to watch that show all the fucking time. Motherfucker wouldn't even get one step off the next. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Yeah.
at least when you get $100, like you cut me off at $1.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be on that show just to be that guy that takes the step down. They're like, next. Like, I don't fuck. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you
What do you mean speed it up, Lou?
I mean, it's almost 3 o'clock.
I got you.
All right.
All right, so we'll dive into just a tidbit of news, I guess, and then we'll hit our haters to love it in our top 5, and then we'll send you guys fucking packing. Giddy up. Congratulations, Aaron Judge, number 62.
Yeah, fuck you. And as a Met fan, I don't want him.
I fucking love you, man. It's supposed to be like, clap, congratulations, good shit. Then he's like, you can go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Alright.
Still congrats.
Yeah,
I mean,
I still gotta give it up to him. Congrats.
I
I
mean,
mean,
barring
the steroid test, or whatever's gonna happen,
that's
still one historic fucking season.
I'm
just happy he did it for the sake of going through that whole journey and not the tie. Because we talked about it.
To go through 161 games and you only fucking tied,
that would eat me for years inside. Wouldn't that eat you alive, Danny? I was right fucking there. As a player, I'm right fucking there. And I tie.
Yeah, but, you know, at that point, it just wouldn't have been meant to be. But You know. And you know what? Yeah, another reason why I say fuck you. He did it on the road. You fucks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys didn't get that at home.
I do want to send congratulations, not congratulations, but a thank you to the Texas Rangers fans. Because they handled that moment with so much class. I mean, they're not like Yankee fans would be, where if another player went to Yankee Stadium and did that, they would have booed him as he hit the fucking home run.
You know what would be dope?
What?
If I just thought it'd be funny, but it'd be another fuck you. If I was the one that caught that ball, I go home, I go in my backyard, I get an M80, I wrap it to the baseball, I put my phone and I say, "Here's your 62, Aaron." Gone from history.
My man just threw $2 million out the window with an M80.
So yeah, it can be in the stat book, but the ball does no longer exist.
Wow. Now
that
I
salute you, sir. That's a fuck you right there.
All right, so you want to do top 5 first?
Yeah.
All right. This week's
top 5 Dead or Alive.
The most athletic
players ever.
Greatest athletes of all time.
Athletic. Danny, you got it right? All right. Well, take us somewhere, sir.
Okay, number 1, Michael Jordan. Number 2, Babe Ruth. Number 3, Deion Sanders. Number 4, Tom Brady. And number 5, Wayne Gretzky. I wanted to try to keep it with a player from each sport.
Yeah.
And Deion was kind of like, he was a two-way player between baseball and football. So, and honestly, I wanted to, like I said, at the end it came down to between him and Muhammad Ali. But I found a little spinner thing on the website, and I put their names in it, and I spun it 20 times, and they literally 10 and 10.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, Deion's gonna get it.
Yeah, literally
the site told you pick one.
Yeah.
Just pick one. That's fucking funny. That's actually awesome that it happened like that. Like even the fucking the wheel was like, dog, I don't know. You gotta pick one. I don't know. I'm here to help, but I can't help right now. You gotta do it.
It was funny.
All right,
so my list a little similar to it. I have number 1, Deion. I think Deion's just the greatest athlete we've ever seen.
I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I just can't see him ahead of Jordan.
Well, the reason why I put him ahead of Jordan, it's not only was he a two-way sport player, he was a two-way in his own respected sport. I played corner, punt returner, and I could play wide receiver. Oh, not to mention, give me that bat. We go fucking 3 for 3.
Yeah, the only player to hit a home run and score a touchdown in the same week.
I think within a day he did it. Like he literally had a pick 6, and then that night he flies to Atlanta, or wherever the fuck they are, and then cracks a home run. So I had Deion number 1. Number 2, I had Bo Jackson. Just for the level that he did and his size. And if you take his injury away, we may be talking about Bo a lot better than this.
A lot more, yeah.
Yeah. So number 2, Bo Jackson. Number 3, Sweet Pea Whitaker. That's the first pound per pound actual lightweight. Yeah, he went through 3 or 4 fucking divisions and was still absolutely fucking filthy. So that's why I had to put him in there. If he just stayed at one weight, it's like all right, you box. I get it. You're a great boxer. But and it's not like he just went to divisions and didn't win titles. He went up a division, won the title, up a division, won the title, up a division, won the title. You know what I mean? So that athleticism is honestly that's like a bar none.
Yeah.
Number 4, I have the recent and great Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what he's doing speaks for himself. You know what I mean? He's doing shit we haven't seen ever. And the last time we seen a player like this was 100 years ago.
That's why I feel he should definitely be on the list more than Ohtani, but you know.
And then number 5, Michael Jordan. Mike had to be on that list. The shit that Mike does is
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
He
He hasn't played in what
20
20
years?
years?
Yeah.
I could
I could put on a highlight right now, and I'll be left like.
You know, it's funny. After you sent me that fucking that YouTube short last night about the Pau Gasol Olympic thing,
Dude.
I started watching YouTube shorts after we were done talking, and that came up like 3 or 4 into me starting to watch YouTube shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and then like maybe 10 minutes later, I got the Chicago Bulls fucking potential trade for Kobe thing.
I told you.
And I seen that.
I told you.
I was like, that would have sucked if he actually ended up going to Chicago.
Oh God. I mean, it sucked for the Lakers. Yeah, I'd have been fucking.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have went out and bought myself a Kobe Bryant jersey the
next motherfucking day. All right, let's bounce into these hated or love it's because me and Danny have some off the field issues that we need to attend to. All right. Hate it or love it. Hate it or love it, Danny.
Love it.
Backup quarterbacks will become more vital to the team.
Backup quarterbacks will become more vital to the team moving forward because of it.
I love it. It needs to be.
Yeah,
and we were even talking about it a few weeks ago. It's like backup quarterbacks, I feel like, should be a little bit better. You know, I mean.
No, I agree with you. I think now with the new rules and like we talked about, you know, a couple of weeks ago.
No, I agree with you. I think
the NFL was always next man up, but we see it constantly, at least
now
once
with
a year.
The new rules and
goes down
like we talked about, you know, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's like there's probably a handful.
The
of
NFL is always next man up.
Backup quarterback that
but
say, yeah,
we see it constantly. At least one
I'm nice. I'm not the greatest.
year,
but I could do it.
A quarterback goes down, and that backup is dog shit.
Rush, Teddy.
It's like there's probably a handful of guys in the NFL as a backup quarterback that could say, yeah,
more serviceable guys to come in the event someone gets hurt.
I'm nice. I'm not the greatest,
well, I'll give you
I could do it.
Example.
You know, Brissett, Rush.
My wife's an Eagle fan, but she likes
Teddy.
The backup quarterback that was last year our backup behind Rush, Ben DiNucci. She's like, I like him. I like the way he plays. He plays pretty solid. He's very athletic. He can move. He can run. And I go, but he sucks ass.
Well, I'll give you a quick example.
Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, she's like, no,
my wife's
like
an Eagle fan.
Look, I'm not
but
saying
she likes the backup quarterback that
but
was
Ben DiNucci
last year our backup
sucks a bag
behind Rush. Ben DiNucci.
He's fucking terrible.
I like him. I like the way he plays.
Garbage.
He's pretty solid. He's very athletic. He can
Quick
move,
disclaimer here.
Run.
And I'll tell you why he's fucking
but
garbage.
He sucks.
He is the equivalent of Dan Orlovsky. Now, if you don't know who Dan Orlovsky is,
you
can turn on ESPN during NFL hours, and you can
not
see his little
white
or cannot
blonde ass. But Ben DiNucci sucks a bag full of dicks. He's fucking terrible.
Garbage.
Garbage.
You will always be fucking garbage.
Quick disclaimer here.
You're gonna make fun of Jimmy Garoppolo for stepping out of bounds.
He is the equivalent of Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky's first play, he literally ran out of the back of the end zone. Not a step, not 1, 2, not
blonde ass talking about.
My man ran a track meet down the sideline to the back of the end zone.
You were garbage.
Fucking garbage.
You will always be fucking garbage. You're gonna make fun of Jimmy Garoppolo for stepping out of bounds?
Like even some of
Dan Orlovsky's first play, he literally ran out of the back of the end zone. Not a step, not 1, 2, not ooh. My man ran a track meet down the sideline to the back of the end zone.
We can even say it's questionable.
He's fucking garbage.
Announces games. Romo, you had some bad moments.
Yeah, but Romo was a fucking.
He was a dog, and I mean dog respectively. He was a dog. Like he was a baller.
Yeah,
the motherfucker could play.
He was a G.
All right, Danny, it's on you.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we can even say it's questionable that Romo what's his game. Romo, you had some bad moments.
I hate it. I mean, we went through it last night, and we even went through the.
He was a dog, and I mean, dog respectively. He was a dog, like
because
he was a baller. The motherfucker could play.
Their hands.
All right, Danny, it's on you.
Not doing it correctly. And now I understand before you make the season, it's hard to on paper pick out the best
hate
matchups.
it. I mean, we went through it last night, and we even went through the matchups, which we'll talk about more tomorrow. The reason why I hate it is because they have it's They have gold in their hand.
It is. Yeah. All right. So you do it for
and they're just
17
not
weeks.
doing
Are
it
all of them
correctly.
going to be prime
And now
time
I
hitters?
understand before you make
Probably
the season,
not.
it's hard to
But just for a little
on paper
example, you
pick out the
really
best
mean to tell
matchups.
me that fucking
But
Washington
literally, we went through the list
fucking
last night and we
Chicago
seen
deserves a primetime
it's
game
bullshit.
this week?
Yeah.
It's very easy to
They
pick a
deserve a
primetime game.
right? When it could have been
It is.
fucking.
Yeah. All right. So you do it for 17 weeks.
What was
Are
it?
all of them going to
Chiefs
be
and Bills.
primetime
That's all you
hitters?
got to do.
Probably not.
Or it could have
But
been fucking the Cowboys-Rams game. Or you could have even did fucking Miami and Jets, because honestly, that's going to be a good game.
They deserve a primetime game, right? When it could have been
even off paper, not even if you're looking at paper. It's
what
a
was it?
division matchup.
Chiefs and Bills. That's all you got to do.
You have at least 4 weeks of a bird's eye view of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Miami looks like they're on fucking fire, barring Tua's injury, and the Jets look like they're fighting.
Yeah, they have life in them. They
even off paper.
So you're telling me you couldn't pick that motherfucking game over the fucking
and you
Denver
have
Broncos
at least 4
and
weeks
Indianapolis
of a
Colts?
bird's eye view of what they're doing. Miami looks like they're on fucking fire, barring Tua's injury, and the Jets look like they're fighting.
Yeah, one of the worst games I ever watched.
It was like.
So you're telling me you couldn't pick that motherfucking game over the
I love watching football.
Denver
So do you.
Broncos?
We love it. We can watch any game, anywhere, anytime. I would pass on that game.
That's the saddest game I've fucking seen in 10 fucking years.
Standpoint, it was lovely, but
it was
regular
like it was hard. It hurt to watch. Put it that way. I love watching football. So do you. We love it. We watch any game, anywhere, anytime. I would pass on that game 9 out of fucking 10 times.
Love it. Tua won't play the rest of this year. I know. When I wrote it down, I had the same reaction.
Nah, it was. It really was. All right, then hate it or love it.
Because I'd like to see
Tua won't play the rest of this year.
And, I feel like I definitely at some point within this year.
I know. When I wrote it down, I had the same reaction.
But to protect him long term, I would agree with it. I mean,
well, you know what the funniest thing about it is?
You're still going to be competitive with Teddy,
Oh yeah, but here's the funniest thing about it, Danny. If we take these 4 weeks away, or the games that he's played, right, and we take that away, Miami's been in this.
Well, you know what the funniest thing about it is?
Revolving circle of is two of the guys, two not the guys, two.
But here's the funniest thing about it, Danny.
Where
if we take these 4 weeks away, or the games that he's played,
I've always been a Tua fan.
We take that away.
And I like
Miami's been in this like fucking revolving circle of is two of the guys, two enough guys, two of the guys, two enough guys.
Where back up and then slowly fade out.
And it pains me to say this because I've always been a Tua fan.
But I think
and I like playing into that. He's got something about him. He has that it.
All right, we're dumbasses. We're gonna fire Brian Flores.
To watch him.
Retarded.
Get booted and then become a backup and then slowly
really
fade
good.
out of the league. That hurts you.
Goodbye. Like, come on.
You know what I mean? But I think this is just playing into that Miami Dolphins storyline of, all right, we're dumbasses. We're going to fire Brian Flores. Retarded. All right, well, Tua looked really good. We got the winners round. Goodbye. Like, come on, man.
I agree. Because I've read a couple of articles where playing on artificial turf and synthetic grass leads players to being more fatigued, sore, 100%. Leads to more injuries. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to expand the rosters.
Yeah,
because it's like, how are you gonna have a game coming down at the end of the year? You could look at any of the top matchups. How are you gonna have a top matchup coming down to the end of the year, week 15, 16, or 17? And both teams, or even one of the teams, doesn't have their star players because of an injury, because of the fucking fields that you guys play on.
And the funniest thing is, and to your point, which this is why I love it, there's way more injuries on natural grass than there is on synthetic. Yeah. Because, I mean, at least on grass, there's
and the funniest thing is, and to your point, which this is why I love it,
as we were just talking about Tua,
there's way more injuries on natural grass than there is on synthetic.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, at least on grass, there's some give to it. You know what I mean? On these synthetic fields, as we were just about Tua, it's kind of solid.
So, yeah, 100%. I think every
bounce you fucking on natural grass.
And as far as the grassing, I mean, I get it. After constantly playing
the contact.
Forth,
so yeah, 100%. I think every field should be 100% grass.
You refill them, and then if it rains, that can affect the hole, and then essentially it'll never really be the same. But bro, don't these a lot of these college teams, or even if not college, don't a lot of these high school teams, don't they play on natural grass?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I don't look into it, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think they have any issues.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
funniest thing is people be like, yeah, but it's in a dome. I don't want to hear that shit.
What do you mean in a dome? How many teams play in the dome in the NFL?
Exactly. Oh, it
3,
doesn't get
4?
sunlight
And
this
the
and that.
funniest thing
Bro,
is
the
people
Arizona
be like, yeah, but
Cardinals
it's in a dome. I don't
have
want
a
to hear that shit.
retractable field. Literally, the field pulls itself out and goes
Exactly.
into their practice.
Oh, it doesn't
fucking
get
facility.
sunlight this and this.
Yeah.
Bro, if
There's
in
no
the Arizona
excuse. There's
Cardinals,
no excuse.
you have a
You really
retractable
mean to
field.
tell me that you
Literally,
can't
the field
maintain
pulls
grass?
itself out and goes
I
into
mean,
a
baseball
practice
does it.
fucking facility.
Exactly. So after a game,
There's no excuse. There's no
I
excuse.
get it. There's more, give and take with the players on the grass
I mean,
field in the
baseball does it.
NFL compared to baseball. But you mean to tell me after a game on Sunday, you can't maintain that grass and make sure that grass is up to tip top shape for next Sunday?
Yeah, that's bullshit. With the amount of money that they spend on fucking, these people that take care of the fields and it's
And
bullshit.
and advertisement and everything. You mean to tell
Yeah,
me
that's
you guys
bullshit.
can't take care
With the amount of money
maintain
that
a
they
grass
spend on
field, something
fucking,
like that?
Exactly.
these people that take
100%.
care of the fields and it's
All right.
bullshit.
Hate it or love it. The Seattle Mariners are the sneaky favorite to win the World
Like,
Series.
Exactly. 100%.
I hate it. I would love to
All right.
see it.
Hate it or love
but
it.
I hate it. It's
The Seattle
not
Mariners
realistic
are the
enough.
sneaky
It's
favorite to win
just
the World Series.
not with Houston and not with New York.
Well, that's why I said sneaky. I didn't want to just, outright be like, oh,
Well,
they're
I mean-
the favorite. You know what
I mean, yeah, sneaky because I feel like out of all the wild card teams, they're definitely the best.
Well, that's why I
wild
said
card
sneaky.
team
I didn't want to just,
playing,
outright be like,
but
oh, the favorite. You know what I mean?
once you get to that next level, the game changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I mean, it's just at this point, the way they played yesterday and the way they've been playing all season, it's like they're
Yeah.
being.
I
Like,
agree. I mean, it's just
everybody in
at
the
this
playoffs
point, the
should
way they
start
played
opening their
yesterday
eyes.
and the
This
way they've
team
been
is
playing all
not-
season, it's like they're
They're not
being
a pushover. They're not something to be
No.
fucked
like
with.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
everybody in the
Like I said
playoffs
before,
should start
Seattle's
opening their eyes.
definitely
This
here
team
to
is
stay. I
not.
think
They're not a
the
pushover. They're
foreseeable
not
future,
something
I
to be
would
fucked
say,
with.
with
You know what I
for
mean?
at least the next 5 to 7 years, they're definitely gonna be here,
The so-
100%.
and they're gonna be winning the division over the Angels. I mean, they got Houston there, but I mean,
100%.
depending on what happens in Houston, I mean, they could even really be challenging Houston for a division.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, is Houston really gonna win 104 games every year? No.
It's not even
Yeah.
104 games every year. Within 5 years, that lineup for Houston is going to look
It's not
completely
104
different
games every year.
as to where Seattle's going to
Within
have
5 years, that
an
lineup for
established
Houston is
lineup.
going
Because
to
they're younger.
as to where
and,
Seattle's
you know,
going to have an established
Yeah.
lineup.
And they got guys locked into contracts already. So,
And they got
like I
guys
said,
locked
the
into
landscape for
contracts
Seattle
already.
is looking pretty
So-
goddamn good. If
I
I'm a
agree.
Mariners fan, you should be.
Yeah, I say the
fucking
landscape
100%
for Seattle is
excited.
looking pretty goddamn good.
100%. Yep.
If I'm a Mariners fan, you should be fucking 100%
All right.
excited.
Hate it or love it. So the fan that ran onto the field during the Monday Night Football game, he filed a police report for blatant assault. That was brutality.
Well,
Oh my god! Like, bro, you shouldn't
Well-
have ran onto the field, you fucking jackass.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, this is a beta male.
Yeah, well, I mean,
was trying
look,
to
this is a beta
protest
male.
You don't kill pigs.
I was trying to
You think
protest
out
you
of
don't
those
kill
30,000
pigs.
People that were there,
You
gave a
think
fuck?
out of those 30,000
And-
people
and-
that were
yeah,
there,
you think?
gave a fuck?
And out of everybody watching at
What you
home, how
think?
many of those people you think actually give a fuck?
Or actually even knew what the fuck your cause was that you were
Or
protesting?
actually even knew what the fuck your
Exactly.
cause was that
you
you were
got
protesting.
exactly what you deserved.
You
How about
got
shut the fuck
exactly
up,
what you deserve.
You stay at home, and that's it. No, you want to open your mouth. And, I'm gonna go to the game and I'm gonna run back.
First of all, you can file whatever police report you want.
First of all, you
Doug,
can
the
file
judge is
whatever
gonna look
police
at this
report you
just
want.
like this.
Doug,
So
the judge is going to
bought a
look at this just like this.
ticket,
So you bought a
came half naked with a
ticket,
sign and then broke
came
the
half
law
naked with a
and then ran
sign
on the
and then
field,
broke the law and then ran
right?
on the field.
So you're telling me, yes,
right?
you were protesting,
So
but you
you're
could have
telling
had a
me,
bomb strapped
yes,
to
you were
could have had a
protesting,
gun,
but you could have had a
all,
bomb
you could have
strapped
had
to
a
you, you
knife,
could have had a gun, you could have had
and
all,
you
you could
want
have had a
people to be
knife,
like, oh, guy,
and you want people to be like,
stop
oh, guy,
running.
stop
Come on, come with me
running.
this way.
Come on, come
Dude,
with me
you're
this
lucky
way.
that Bobby took you down like
Dude,
that.
you're lucky that Bobby
could
took
have
you down like
lit
that.
you
Bobby
for
could have
the rest
lit
of your
you
fucking life. You
for
could
the
have been a
rest of your
meme for
fucking
the
life.
rest
You
of
could
your
have been a
life.
He's
meme
still
for the
gonna
rest of
be
your
here
life.
for the rest of his life, but it could have been a lot
It could have
worse.
been way worse. And now
It
you're
could have
gonna
been
go,
way
"Oh,
worse. And now
it's
you're going to go,
assault."
oh, that's assault. Bro.
I
You know,
have
I mean,
I-
not for
I have
nothing.
not-
I mean, look, that now, just thinking about it real quick. That's like the people that go and buy. Like you've read the stories in the past. People that have gone to the store, they buy coffee, and then the coffee thing opens up on them or whatever, and
the Kramer.
The Kramer.
And the coffee gets on them and it burns them, and now they want to sue the company or sue the restaurant. Like really, bro? Like, okay, yeah, you could make the case that, oh well, the employee didn't put it on tight enough, or well, you know what? How about before you walk away from the counter, or before you drive away from the window at the drive-through, or you can even drive up a little bit before you start driving? How about you make sure your shit is secure?
I 100% agree. And he's like,
no, I'm gonna.
The coffee was too hot. Jackass, it's coffee. It's gonna be hot. This is what aggravates me about fucking momos like this. He assaulted me. You're lucky he didn't grab you and punch you the fuck out.
Yeah, like Draymond.
Oh shit, yeah. My man duffed him. I don't know why he duffed him like that, bro. There was no need
to duff him like that, bro.
But yo, like I said, when you put that, when you go on to YouTube and you change the playback to like the slowest motion you can do, yo, epic.
Boom.
I watched it like 10 times at that speed.
Oh my god, man! Like,
get off topic. Completely Draymond. Why, bro? Why?
What do you say?
What do you say? Fuck your mom or something like that? That's the only way I can see you. Just, this is a teammate. You know what I mean?
Fuck your mom next to it.
Better not bring my mom in this. All right, hate it or love it. Something was off with Max Scherzer last night.
All right, hate it or love it.
I love it, but I mean, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. And
Something was off with Max Scherzer
no
last
reason
night.
to go back and watch highlights, so I couldn't really tell you. But obviously, something was off.
Yeah, because he was like, I know he likes to pepper in his changeup here and there just to throw.
No.
You know, it's like throwing a loop, like not a loop. It's like throwing a monkey wrench to a batter. Like, I didn't see the changeup coming.
Yeah, because he was like, I know he likes to pepper in
than he would use
his changeup
fastball.
Here.
Yeah.
And like we talked about before, that's
there
why I
just
think
to throw.
there was something.
It's like throwing a loop, like not a loop. It's like a.
Yeah, I could.
Throwing a monkey wrench.
I love
to a batter. Like, I didn't see the changeup.
It's a shame. I mean,
he was using the changeup
pitcher. I think he's probably one of the last old school pitchers.
His cutting fastball
in the league.
Yeah.
And like we talked about before, that's why I think there was something off.
Yankee fans, hate it or love it, Judge and Ohtani should be co-MVP.
It's a shame.
I mean,
I still love him as a pitcher. I think he's probably one of the last old school pitchers in the league.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. I
all right,
think
it's on you, brother.
Yeah, I love it just because of the fact that these guys have just broken and set an unprecedented amount of records this year.
I love it.
I agree.
Like, I know they'll probably pick one, and I wouldn't be mad at either choice, but I think they both do deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think.
I mean, come on, Ohtani's the first.
Yeah, I love it just because of the fact that these guys have just
Judge finally breaks the fucking actual
broken and set an unprecedented amount of records.
And Ohtani
does
what he does, and he becomes the first player to be.
I know they'll probably pick one, and I wouldn't be mad at either choice, but I think they both do deserve it.
Offensively and pitching.
I really do. I mean, come on, Ohtani's the first guy to throw 200 strikeouts and hit over 35 home runs. Judge finally breaks the fucking actual home run record.
I would love it too. I think that does justice for both of them.
I would just be like, fuck you, Yankee fans, fuck you, Judge.
Well, the funniest thing is, if you take, like we talked about it weeks ago, you take 10 home runs off Judge's list. Ohtani's the man.
I'm sorry.
Ohtani's the MVP. Yeah, great season, Judge. You kind of, you hit above average.
I would love it too. I think that does for both of them.
Awesome. But did you do what he did?
Well,
I didn't
the
see
funniest thing is, if you take,
I didn't
like
see
we
you throw
talked about it weeks
200
ago, you take
strikeouts. I
10
didn't
home
see you
runs
go
off
five,
off
top
Judge.
5 on offense and
Otani.
defense in the
I
league.
didn't see you
Otani's the
pitch
MVP.
7 shutout innings.
Yeah,
and
great season,
score a
Judge.
run
You
for
kind of,
2
you know,
of
you
the
hit
game
above average of
before
home runs. You
because
hit
your
50,
team around
51
you
home
sucks
runs.
ass.
Awesome. But did you do what he did? I didn't see you pitch
All
a
right,
couple
hit it or love it,
shutouts. I
David.
didn't see you go
Tyler
200
Herro will
strikeouts.
be
I
a
didn't see you
starter
go
by
5,
midseason.
top 5 on
Yeah, I
offense
think
and
he's a
defense in the
starter
league.
already.
I do too, but I think they're still gonna try to work him as that 6-man. But I think he needs to
Exactly.
be a starter already. I mean,
Yeah.
you're paying him like a starter. Just make him a fucking starter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hit it or love it,
He looked
Danny.
good
Tyler
last
Herro
playoff.
will be a
Why would
starter
you-
by
I mean, he looked good
midseason.
up until his injury.
Yeah, you know, and
I do
honestly,
too, but I
he's,
think
you know,
I think they're
I
He
don't
still
won
going
know
to
how
start
Six
old
working
Man of
he
as
the
is.
Year
that
last
6
year.
man. But
So
I
I
think he
mean,
needs to be a starter
obviously,
already.
He's
I mean,
re-
you're
not
paying him like a
necessarily, I don't know
starter.
how old he is. I
Just
mean,
make him a
I know
fucking
he's still
starter.
young though, but he's ready to go. He's definitely a starter. I think
yeah.
him,
I mean, he looked good up
Bam,
until
and
his
Jimmy
injury.
out there. That's yeah. That
He
should
won
be
6
starting.
man of the
That
year
should be
last year,
part of
so I
the
mean,
starting five.
obviously.
Opening night,
Yeah, 100%.
10 days away.
Well, that's why I said midseason.
11.
I'd give it to by midseason, maybe injuries and shit like
Yeah.
that. But I think he'll be a starter sooner than later.
Yeah.
All right, it's on you, brother.
All right. Hit it a little. Not saying he
Yeah,
is,
100%.
but I mean, I've been reading some articles.
Well, that's why I said
saying he
midseason.
should,
I'd give
but
it to you
hit
by
it or love
midseason,
it,
maybe
Chua should
injuries and shit
consider
like that. But I
retirement.
think he'll be
I
a
hate it.
starter
I mean,
sooner than later.
Unless the doctors are really,
All right,
telling
it's on
him
you,
that
brother.
you're fucked. You're fucked up.
I mean, dude, he suffered the concussion the week prior against Buffalo, and foolishly, or I don't know. Honestly,
I hate it.
I really feel like there's that.
Unless
like,
the doctors
there was
are,
negligence.
telling him like, you're fucked.
There was
fucked up.
negligence as far as what
On his part or the organization's
or the
part?
organization.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he could say he wants to go back out, but there was 100% negligence on the organization to clear him, send him back out for that game, and then clear.
Part or the
and then
organization's
clear
part.
for the following
Yeah.
week, and then for him to get lit up. I'm not saying like force hits on on players, but he took a shot, and the way he was thrown down to the ground.
Yeah.
You know. So, and for him to not get proper treatment after the first injury, I mean.
But you know what it's also is too, like, because I've heard that he told in that game against Baltimore where he got hurt and they took him out and they said, you know, what's your issue? And he goes, they're like, you know, is it your head?
But you know what it's
He goes,
also
"My
is
back."
too, because I've
My
heard
head's
that
fine.
he
It's
told
my back.
in that game against Baltimore where
So there's definitely negligence
where he got hurt and they took him out and they said,
on
you know,
multiple parties there. If
what's your issue?
Organization,
They're like, you know, is it your head? He
for
goes,
believing
no,
the lie and being like,
My
oh,
head's
hey,
fine.
you're back.
My
Yeah,
back.
you're good. Go back out there.
Right.
So there's definitely negligence
No, it's definitely
on multiple parties.
I mean,
there.
we're
To lie,
for
the
player
organization,
safety and
even
these guys
for
not to get hurt.
believing the lie
You know,
and being like,
but
oh, hey, you're back, you're good, go back out there.
Something's funky going on this year with the NFL. We've talked about it.
No,
Something's
definitely,
going
like,
on here.
I agree.
I mean,
'Cause
we're
watched,
always for players.
Jesus, for how many years we
get
watched
hurt,
players get
you
fucking.
know? But
Literally, we're watching the game. We're like, yo,
funky
he's
going
dead.
on this year with the NFL.
The fucking guy is dead.
Laying there fucking lifeless.
Lifeless.
Because we watched.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus, for how many years? We
watched
watched players get fucking. Literally,
Yeah,
we're watching the game. We're like, yo, he's dead.
Look, I don't.
The fucking guy is dead.
I don't play football, so I
Lifeless.
don't know how that really.
Yeah, I mean, Tua, what? Naheem Hines the other night.
The hits that we've seen in the past compared to that, dude, you are not hit hard.
Exactly.
And then for him to get up and stumble and have his legs buckle like that, like, bro, what's going on, man?
Yeah, something's funky's going on here.
It really is.
Exactly.
And also, aside from that, it definitely also goes back to the synthetic grass.
Yeah, something's funky going on.
That does not help the fact either.
And honestly, like, you know, they always say, oh, we're innovating the helmets, we're doing this, we're doing that. Well,
100%.
that innovation did not fucking work if my man fucking bounced his head off.
And honestly, like, you know, they always say, oh, we're innovating the helmets, we're doing this, we're doing that. Well, obviously that innovation did not fucking work if my man fucking bounced his head off the fucking turf and was like,
in the NFL this year.
what's my name?
All right, guys, we're going to cut the episode short. About 15 minutes today. So if you guys want to find us, like I said, you can always find
100%.
us on Anchor.
All right, guys, we're gonna cut the episode short.
It'll
About
take
15
you to
minutes
whatever
today.
podcast platform you want to listen to us.
So if you guys want to find us, like I
Spotify,
said,
Twitter,
you can always
YouTube,
find us on anchor.fm/DNB1. It'll take you to wherever podcast platform you want to listen to us. We're on Spotify, Twitter, YouTube, all that jazz.
Yes.
So if you want to find us, like I
been
said,
real.